Today, Gooseworx opened up a Q&A on Tumblr where she answered questions from the community, and some of her responses are worth going through properly because they fill in gaps the show left open and also confirm something that a lot of people are going to have mixed feelings about. Starting with the one that matters most. A fan asked her directly, "If you had the chance, would you make a season 2 of TADC?" And Gooseworx answered, "Probably not, I'm tired." 4 words, and they say a lot. This is not a hard no in the legal or contractual sense, but coming from the person who created and wrote the entire show, it is about as clear as a signal gets. She is tired, and after everything that happened across the past few years, between the production pressure, the fandom drama, the leaks, and the weight of carrying a show of this size largely by herself, that answer makes complete sense. The follow-up she gave when asked about whether some characters deserved more time adds even more context to where she is with all of it. Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's just a lot bigger of an undertaking than I'm sure a lot of people realize when you're the only writer and juggling so many different departments at once. It would have required more episodes, time, and stamina. Something I wasn't exactly graced with, being only Glitch's second creator-driven show. I would have needed more writers and co-directors because writing and directing even just 9 episodes basically killed me. It's also a miracle I was allowed to make episode 9 as long as it was, because one thing a producer never ever wants to hear is, "I'd like to make this longer." There will always be an incentive to cut things down over fleshing things out. Thankfully, if I do another one of these, a lot of the kinks will hopefully be worked out from the beginning. Hopefully. That answer is one of the most honest things she has said publicly about the production, because it confirms something the community has suspected for a while. The limitations of the show were not creative ones, but practical ones. She wanted to give every character more space. She knew certain things felt rushed, and the reason it ended up the way it did is that she was doing the work of multiple people by herself without the support structure that kind of project actually needs. The "basically killed me" line is not a throwaway comment. It is the real answer to every complaint about characters feeling pushed aside. Beyond the Season 2 question, there were a few other answers from the Q&A worth knowing about. On whether new people could still end up in the circus, Gooseworx confirmed, if they put on the headset and get their brains scanned, then yeah, which means the door into the circus is still technically open, and the copies of the main cast are not necessarily the last ones to ever arrive there. Whether that changes anything about how you read the ending is up to you, but it is a meaningful detail for anyone who has been thinking about what the world of the circus looks like going forward. On the question of whether the characters who are still living in the circus are effectively immortal, she answered, "Until the computer is smashed with a sledgehammer." So the answer is yes, for as long as the hardware holds up, which is both a funny response and a slightly unsettling one depending on how you think about it, since it means the only real threat to their existence now is a physical one. And finally, for everyone wondering whether Digital Circus as a brand has a future even without a new season, Gooseworx addressed that too. There will probably be merch and shorts. I won't be writing or directing them, but I trust the person who is. That last sentence is the most interesting part of the whole answer, because it tells you that she is stepping back from active creative involvement, while also signaling that she trusts whoever takes it from here. Digital Circus is not disappearing as a property, it is just continuing without her in the driver's seat, and whether that produces something worth watching is a question that only time will answer. Are you okay with Digital Circus continuing as shorts and merch without Gooseworx writing or directing? And after reading her answers, do you have a different understanding of why certain parts of the show felt the way they did? Drop it in the comments.